You look so weird with your lips now. Like I can see your lips. It's like model lips. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, typically I don't like to shave on my face. I feel like it looks wrong. But every so often I have to reboot. And then I was gonna just leave like goatee and shave off everything else. But then I started to get gray hairs on goatee, and it's just like, well, fuck you, face. And I think I have one gray nose hair, which is just fucked up. I don't know why. You look at your nose sometimes and you're like, oh, my nose is weird. And it's like, why is there gray hair on my nose? Like, why is that even a thing that can be a thing?
Why is that even a thing that could be a thing?
It's just going to be a white pube hair soon, and it's just going to wreck my world.
That is actually one of my fears. No lie.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
The first gray pube hair, and I'm just like, oh,
bummer. Yeah. It's just... Sooner or later, I'm going to put this on LinkedIn, and somebody's going to be like, oh, I work with Andrew. I should listen to his podcast. And that's going to be the sentence they hear. Like, heavens to Murgatrude. I now know too much about Andrew.
Right?
Yeah.
You know about his great pube hairs.
All my free time. Yeah, it's going to happen this week. So, there we go.
With that being said.
So really fast, before you just told me, Cloak and Dagger was canceled.
Yeah, that happened like last 2 hours. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a little ridiculous. Before the big promised crossover with the Runaways, because apparently Jeff Loeb is leaving. The pending departure of Jeff Loeb, Marvel's TV head. Wait, is he departing totally, or is he departing just from like this area?
He's departing, I think, totally.
Oh.
He's out.
Oh.
I think this was just like, nah, I'm Kevin Feige is going to like run me out of town anyway, so let's just call it a day.
He's going to leave his post as the head of Marvel TV in the coming weeks and is in the market for an overall new deal with the new company.
Yeah, he's out. He's out.
Holy shit. I felt like he got along with everybody pretty well. Like I felt like Jeff Loeb's been running Marvel TV for a very long time. Like animated everything. I thought he got along with people.
From what I've been hearing from like fans and stuff, people didn't like his when he started taking over, like especially the animated stuff. Apparently, one of his last things to come out before he came in was the Spectacular Spider-Man, which I loved. And then, like, apparently he was the reason why I got canceled. So,
I mean, I do know that like people have been always iffy about Jeff Loeb, even when it comes to reading comic books in the last, I don't know, decade or so.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've always felt like he's been hit or miss. I felt like he's more hit than miss, but he also wrote Ultimates Volume 3, which was terrible. So I understand that.
Ultimates
Volume... It was really bad.
Wait, is that the one with Natasha and like, with Black Widow and Iron Man like proposing to her over the thing in Russia?
I believe that was Volume 2. Volume 3 was the one where we find out that Ultimate, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver are boning.
Oh, that he was watching the bushes.
Yeah.
I never forgot that. So... I never forgot that. I never forgot that.
Yeah. He also, I think, wrote the first arc for Red Hulk in the Red Hulk book. Red Hulk like fights Thor in space and lifts Mjolnir.
Yeah, and beats the smacks with it.
I actually didn't hate that one, but you know, these things occur.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, we move on because we're the reviews there.
We're the reviews.
And I am Andrew McDonald.
And I am Sam Harper, who can't figure out his camera.
It's okay. It's okay. It's still there.
I kind of want people to see my shirt because it's funny.
Periodic drinker. I bet Neil deGrasse Tyson would appreciate that shirt.
You know what I literally saw about not even 20 minutes ago? Neil deGrasse Tyson, Mike Tyson deepfake. They superimposed Mike Tyson.
Send me this. I understand what you're saying. You're going to send me this so I can watch this.
I'm going to pull it off on Reddit. It was on Reddit. Yep, I'm literally still on it. Texting you that now, buddy.
That's a bit ridiculous.
Isn't it? These deepfake things are getting a little ridiculous.
Damn it. I need to really start playing with deepfakes. That would be great. There's so many videos of him and Mike Tyson. We just put them together.
Oh God.
That's
Like
it.
imagine Neil deGrasse Tyson just in the ring, just biting off Holyfield's ear, or like
Yes,
teaching us about planets.
exactly. That's exactly what. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna look at this later. I just saw the image from the.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. Okay,
Lee
cool.
Awesome, you mean? Lee Awesome?
Yes,
The
ridiculously
ridiculously
awesome.
awesome? Yeah.
Yes, yes. Um, Something I'm not sure is ridiculously awesome is one of our first trailers. Ah!
What? Wait, you mean like for this new segment of the show? Or the style of the
Yeah,
show? Oh
yeah.
wow, yeah, that's right. The last time was on no trailers at all.
There were no trailers at all,
Yeah.
and the first trailer we have is for Bloodshot.
Bloodshot. So for
Bloodshot.
those of you who don't know, Bloodshot is a Valiant title. What's that? What's Valiant?
Yeah,
Oh,
because I'm sure many of you don't know what Valiant is.
Valiant is a comic series, comic
Company.
publisher. Yeah, comic publisher company. Is that right? That sounds right. That came out like was it like the early '90s, early '80s.
I believe it was the 90s. I believe it was the
Yeah,
90s.
and they had
Valiant was basically
that.
a bunch of creator-owned books, and they kind of, I can't even say creator-owned books. Some of the characters were basically public domain characters that they ended up taking and bringing into this universe. Characters like Ninjak, super spy slash ninja. Actually, the company was founded in 1989. Um,
I knew it was
Exo Man
something.
of War, who was like a Visigoth, an ancient kind of middle, I don't
It's
know,
it's like
European
if
warrior who gets Iron Man armor from aliens.
it's like if Thor and like Iron Man, Alien came together.
Yeah,
That's what this is. You just
yeah.
it's actually better than it sounds though.
Harbinger. I can
Harbinger,
never know if I'm saying Harbinger.
Harbinger.
That's the one word I always fuck up. Harbinger. Harbinger. Basically, their version of X Men. Kids being
Yes,
born with powers and on the run from a government and an evil CEO who wants to, I don't know, use them and their powers.
it was like
Uh,
Professor X if he was a CEO company, and if the all the mutants like if Cyclops
and
was like
and if his greatest rival was another kid who was like Professor X but younger, who
yeah,
wanted to hang with the X Men.
yeah, and also it might be the Antichrist, but might be the savior.
Yeah,
It's a whole weird thing.
yeah, yeah. So needless to say, Valiant Comics was around for
Wait,
about,
wait, you're forgetting one of their
yes.
best ones. That
Who?
for people of color, Brother Voodoo. Was it Voodoo?
Shadow Man.
Shadow Man.
Yes.
Yes, he
Yes,
has.
there was a black character who had shadow powers.
I would rather him just be Brother Voodoo, but sure, Shadow Man,
He
and
also had a video game.
he did.
Yeah, it was an N64 Shadow Man video game. Action adventure developed by Acclaim, published by Acclaim, based on the Shadow Man comic book by Valiant Comics. There was also a sequel that was released for PlayStation 2 in 2002.
This is like when they made the Darkness video game, and a lot of people didn't realize that was based off a comic book. I feel like that probably came out, and nobody
Um,
realized that was based off a comic book,
yeah, that's probably the case.
and they were just
That's
like, "This is
probably exactly it.
this is a sad game," and just didn't do it.
I think actually the first Darkness game got pretty well reviewed.
No, no, no. Shadow Man, Shadow Man probably got the bad reviews. The Darkness
Oh
is
no, it probably did.
just hot, it's just hotness.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Concept
Shadow Man
alone.
was, yeah, Shadow Man was an N64 game that became a whatever game. Actually, let's see. EGM gave it an 8 out of 10 for N64.
Oh, how about
Hmm.
that?
And yeah, no, so its game rank score was about a 76%. So it actually did pretty decent. Its lowest score was on the PlayStation.
I
But
retract
on
my previous
Dreamcast,
statement.
N64, and PC, it did pretty well.
I
And it
retract
was
my
also
previous
recently
statement.
re-released in 2013 for PC. So there you go, Shadow Man.
I think
Valiant Comics.
we're getting off the topic though. Should probably stay back on
Yes.
that.
Yes, although I was going to say, there was also another Valiant game, Exo Man of War meets Iron Man. That was actually a cool game for PlayStation way back in the day.
It was an actual meets Iron Man game.
Yes, Exo Man of War, Iron Man. You can look that up. It was garbage and also awesome at the same time. But needless to say, Valiant Comics, the rights to their movies, have been picked up by Sony. And so they are making a Bloodshot movie because they thought, what better to reel an audience into our new cinematic universe than a movie about a killer who can heal himself and likes to shoot people. because it's never been done before, ever.
Isn't that Wolverine?
No one knows that movie.
Okay.
No one knows who that character is.
Okay.
I don't even mention Deadpool. No one knows him either.
What about Painkiller Jane?
No one knows these characters, although she had a TV series on Sci-Fi. So yeah, Bloodshot trailer. It stars Vin Diesel as the titular hero Bloodshot.
He doesn't look bad.
No, he doesn't look bad. The basic idea about Bloodshot, though, is that he is kind of a contract killer who dies, and a former soldier, all that stuff. And they basically use him for an experiment that basically injects him with nanites that are able to heal him, but they also erase his memory, so he doesn't have a good idea of what's real. The basic synopsis from the IMDb pages: after he and his wife are murdered, Marine Ray Garrison is resurrected by a team of scientists. Enhanced with nanotechnology, he becomes a superhuman biotech machine, Bloodshot. As Ray first trains with fellow super soldiers, he cannot recall anything from his former life. But when his memories flood back and he remembers the man that killed both him and his wife, he breaks out of the facility to get revenge, only to discover there's more to the conspiracy than he thought. So yeah, that's the basic idea. I think in the original comic books, the main character was actually like a mob hitman, kind of turned into this, and then like he ends up becoming a hero. Yeah, I didn't love the trailer.
I didn't hate the trailer.
I think the thing I liked most about the trailer is the use of the song. I forget what song they had in the trailer, but they keep replaying it over and over again, and it actually fits the trailer really well because it almost keeps replaying certain scenes over and over again as he keeps waking up and remembering things and waking up and remembering things, and they keep kind of like rebooting his brain. So like I did like it, but I also, it felt very generic in a way too. Like I'm not sure what we're going to with this, or if it's going to be like even a good movie. I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna be a good movie, but if they did it well enough, maybe they can get their world working. Because I think so the overarching plan of this whole thing was they want to make
Valiant universe.
The Valiant universe. They want to make a Valiant cinematic universe, kind of like Marvel.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to be Marvel. And so they were going to start with Bloodshot movie, and then they were going to start with the Harbinger movie. And then, first they were going to do the Bloodshot movie, then they were going to do the Harbinger movie, so they can do the Harbinger War, which was a storyline that I actually read, which wasn't a bad saga, which is basically Bloodshot versus the Harbingers, because Bloodshot's protecting a set of kids who have superpowers, and then the Harbingers think he's a bad guy, and then like it was like Toei, who was their version of evil Professor Xavier, kind of had it was a whole thingy that was going on. Yeah, I never pronounced that way. But I heard Sony gave the rights away.
Sony gave the rights away to Harbinger to Paramount.
Yeah,
so everything with the project remains the same, except Sony are not tentatively shooting it. Yeah, so it's weird. Sony has licensed. Apparently, Project Insiders say Bloodshot is less integral to the Valiant cinematic universe than, say, Spider-Man, with the company focused on keeping together its core characters, such as Exo, Man of War, Eternal Warriors, and Archer and Armstrong. So they basically kept some of them, but got rid of this one.
But they got rid of not Bloodshot. They got rid of Harbinger. But they say in the article that Bloodshot is not integral. But they kept Bloodshot and they got rid of Harbinger.
They started with Bloodshot.
I know. But they got rid of Harbinger, which if anyone who's reading Valiant would say that the Harbinger comics are usually the one that everyone starts to talk about. Exo Man of War is kind of cool. Ninjax is kind of cool. Bloodshot, I'm not going to lie, it's kind of cool when you read them.
Oh, no, they all are.
Harbinger is the... you know who's been the most popular out of the Valiant relaunch? Because Valiant has been relaunched
Faith?
like 5 years ago. 5, 6. Yeah, Faith. And what was Faith?
Faith is a fat girl who flies.
Okay, 1... Yes. But 2,
yes,
that's not what I meant. I meant as in the most popular. Well, she is the most popular character of the Valiant.
I would say she's probably the most popular character. Yeah.
But what was she one of? She was one of the Renegades, which is from
Harbinger.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Harbinger was the more popular one. And the kid with the superpowers, Peter, I can't remember his last name.
Yeah. can't remember his last name. It's been a while.
He was like Akira on steroids.
Yeah.
His powers were ridiculous.
Well, he basically, in the original books, he was the one who triggered everybody else's powers. Like, he would go in your brain and, like,
Yes.
kind of dig around, and it would either trigger your powers or not.
It will either trigger your powers or possibly kill you.
Yeah. That might be a newer development. The old ones, he would just kind of give you a headache. But, yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Bloodshot. We'll see. It might be great. It might not be. It's coming out in February, so that's usually the death spot for something that they don't care about.
Is it coming out
We'll
this
find
February or next February?
This February coming.
So it's going to be head to head with Bad
Wait,
Boys
what?
2? I mean, Bad Boys 3?
All right, let's. Wow. It's Bad Boys. It's coming out in February as well. Neither movie, it feels like, is expected to do amazing numbers. And right now, Will Smith can't sell a ticket.
Gemini Man did not do well.
No, it did not. It did poor. Very poor.
I think people just are getting Smith fatigue.
He's going to end up in Marvel because he's going to have to, like, dig in deep and just, like, accept the role sooner or later. And if he's lucky, he'll get Blue Marvel. And then he'll be
I was just thinking that. I was literally just thinking that.
There you go. He's old.
He's old enough he could play Blue Marvel, and he's
he gets
cheesy
to
enough
be
that he
Blue
can play
Marvel.
Blue Marvel.
Exactly.
And everyone
So
would
see
love
what
him
happens.
again.
Even no one knows who Blue Marvel is, but, you know.
That means you could have mad liberties with it.
Exactly. Just imagine Blue Marvel as Superman, but black during the Civil Rights Movement, who wore a mask and a full bodysuit, so people didn't know he was black. And then he was asked by JFK to stop superheroing because the idea of Superman as a black man during the Civil Rights Movement scared the bejesus out of everyone. And he respectfully stepped down at the request of the president, so as not to stir shit.
Also, he's really, really smart too.
Yes, really, really smart.
Like, as in, like, not Reed Richards smart, but probably like up there.
Probably like Reed Richards smart. I mean, he's pretty high up there. I think.
Yeah.
I think he ranks.
He's
I
in the
don't think
top.
He gets lost if Reed Richards starts talking.
I think he's in the top 10.
Yeah, no, he's like top 10 smart.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bloodshot. See it or not. We'll wait for the reviews.
Next trailer.
Next trailer, one I will see.
I mean, kind of have to.
Yeah, I think so. It's Star Wars: The Rise of the Skywalker. What you think?
I gotta tell you, I got a little chills. For real. I didn't think I was gonna get chills, but I'm not saying I don't like the Star Wars franchise, but I grew up, with the original trilogy, and then the other trilogy, and now we got this trilogy, and I was like, all right, cool, Star Wars,
There's
we're
only
doing
been
it.
6 movies. What are we talking about? Anyways,
I'm with you, buddy. Anyway, so so I'm like, all right,
I'm a Trekker, so I don't even care. Anyways, yeah.
Actually, if I had to choose between the two worlds, I do go with more Star Trek with the post-scarcity
Damn right.
world, and
I wanna
than
I'm still waiting for Picard. Yes. Okay.
we're getting sidetracked. But anyway, the point is,
Yeah.
I didn't say I didn't like the Star Wars. I just said it was cool. It was something cool you're
Yes.
doing. This one definitely
this
got
trailer
me.
is cool.
This got me shook. This got me a little feeling some things. I was like, oh, it looks like there's gonna be a team up between Rey and Kyle. So that's
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
Because they're cousins, or brother and sister, or nothing at all. I don't know.
They're probably cousins.
Or nothing at all. Who knows? Nobody knows. We'll find out.
Rey's
I saw
gonna.
the theory that
yeah.
Skywalker is now going to be what Jedis are called by the end of this movie. They're going
That's
to
what I was
the
thinking.
Jedi thing, and
Yeah.
it's just going to be the Skywalkers. If you're a Jedi, you're a Skywalker now.
I don't think they're even gonna call it. I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a little more broad than that. I think it might cover everyone who's Force sensitive.
That makes sense. I could do that. I could see that. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's a great trailer. It's epic. It's maybe assuming the next to last trailer they'll probably release, being that this releases in December, like 23rd or something.
20th.
20th. Okay, so right before Christmas. But yeah, I mean, if you're into Star Wars, you'll be into this. If you're not into Star Wars, then you still won't care. But it does look fun. Does look like it'll be interesting. Does look like C-3PO is getting turned into a murder bot.
Phew.
which
Can't
was
wait for
apparently,
that.
I don't know, something rumored. And then you see him in the trailer, seeming like he's getting reprogrammed or something.
My
Before he stops
family.
looking at his friends as friends and he starts looking at them as fleshy humans. Exactly.
You ever watch the
C-3PO
Doctor Who?
gets the kick ass. I've always wanted to watch Doctor Who, and somehow my brain has never allowed me to just sit down and do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think I was going to start with the new one with the lady, and somehow her first appearance annoyed me. I was like, why is she so smiley? It's just too smiley. And I was just like, I can't fucking watch this smiley woman. It's like, no. Like, shouldn't shit be serious?
That is the weirdest reason I've ever heard someone.
I'm not.
That is the weirdest reason.
I understand it's very weird.
That is the weirdest reason.
She was just.
Too smiley.
I just felt like I was looking at a human Labrador when she was smiling. It was just like,
okay.
She's like a dumb dog.
Okay, all right.
Just saying.
Woo!
Couldn't take her seriously.
Stop. All right. Let's break for commercial.
I had the same reaction to Matt Smith and the rest of them. I just couldn't take him seriously either. What, was Matt Smith? It was, yeah. He was the one after David Tennant, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you remember the names?
Yeah, I know. I just looked at his big dumb face and I was like, I can't watch this show. Like I was gonna watch it and I was just like, look at this guy. I'm like, I can't. Just look at his face. I couldn't watch it.
I think you have a thing against British people.
No, I love the IT crowd and other things. Just
you might like the IT British people. You might like the IT crowd because you are an IT person.
That's probably it, honestly. Although I do remember watching Doctor Who with my father as a kid, and I remember which Doctor we watched. I can't remember the name, but I know saw in the picture. He's the one with the big, like, he had a big scarf and he had big poofy hair.
Oh, you're talking about the 5th Doctor?
Yeah, probably.
Or the 4th.
I remember watching him.
He's either the 5th Doctor, the 4th Doctor, or the 6th Doctor. I know he's one of those Doctors. I think he's the 4th Doctor. No, that's the one with... the 5th Doctor is the one with the, like, celery stalk in his jacket.
I don't think he had the celery stalk. I think I saw that one, and he was too fucking ridiculous too looking.
I think he was I think that might be either the 6th or the 4th. It's either the 6th or the 4th. I think it might be the 4th.
I think it's the 4th.
I think it's the 4th.
Picture of them right now. I believe it is the 4th.
Yeah, he was like one of like the like real popular ones. You know what? This isn't a Doctor Who podcast. Let's just get off of it.
We don't know enough about Doctor Who to be a Doctor Who podcast.
Andrew didn't mean to call the nice lady a dog, so we're just gonna move on.
I didn't say she was a dog. I just said she reminded me of a human Labrador.
Okay.
If a Labrador were giving human features, it would
be Mr. Peanut Butter from BoJack Horseman. She basically said she looks like Mr. Peanut Butter from BoJack Horseman.
There you go. That's
dog,
exactly
Mr. Peanut Butter.
And I hate that show too. But okay, let's move on.
Okay.
BoJack Horseman. I can't stand it.
You hate Joy.
I think I hate Will Arnett, honestly. I think that's probably what it comes down to.
It
bothers me.
Mm.
So you wanted to talk about Scream?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Scream, and you went on a rant on dog people and why Will Arnett should die. So when this podcast comes out, it either is Halloween, like around Halloween.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
before Halloween.
It's a little before Halloween, but Halloween's are coming, and so in that spirit, I was watching horror movies like I tend to do, and I was like, you know what? I haven't done like a franchise in a while. Let's watch a whole bunch of franchises over this weekend. You know, like a one movie franchise.
So Sam, what's your favorite scary movie?
Honestly, I'm starting to think it was Scream, because I'm watching this franchise, and you know what? Scream doesn't take itself seriously and takes itself seriously all at the same time. It's very interesting. Also, I think it should be called Gaslighting Sydney, Act of Four Parts. 4 parts. That was weird. That was weird. The words came out of my mouth.
They did sound weird.
Yeah, and it's basically Gaslighting Sydney, Act of 4 parts. Poor Sydney. If you watch this series, you realize Sydney did nothing wrong in regards to this, and yet everyone is always on her shit. They didn't age badly. They were actually pretty funny. Dewey was a lot more put together than I thought. He's actually very insightful and very wise, but also
No one should ever
extremely
be named
goofy.
Dewey.
His name is Dwight, but everyone calls him Dewey.
No one
And
should ever be named Dewey.
no, Dewey sounds wrong. Courtney Cox was doing a damn thing, except in like a third movie where her haircut was kind of weird. But like, yo, she's good. All in I the franchise. If you sit down and watch Scream, if you're a horror movie fan, sit down and watch Scream. Not for just like the little Easter eggs, but like just for the sake of a slasher flick. There isn't a lot of movies where you have a person chasing you around with a knife and like people are smart while doing it. Like there's a scene where she's like being chased with a knife in the first movie, and like she has this thing where her closet door and her room door are like close together, and she moves her closet door and gets it jammed with the front door. So that way, when he's trying to get it, the killer's trying to get in, they're being pinned by the actual closet door, and she like messages 911 to the thing so the police can call because they got the phone line. Like Sydney and Gail is played by Courtney Cox, both think on their feet where they're being chased by the killer. And you don't see that a lot in horror movies where like, yeah, they're running up the stairs, but they're also throwing shit down at the person. They're dodging the knife at the last second so the knife gets stuck in the wall. They're like clocking behind doors.
With there being 4 movies, though, these women did not think enough on their feet. Because if a killer comes after you once, and the way this happened, don't you just get a concealed carry license and carry a gun from then on in?
Funny enough, in the third movie, Sydney does, and she starts, and the final altercation between her and the Scream guy. She shoots him like first off, she just drops puts him like 4 bullets in him, but he's wearing a bulletproof vest, and he slinks away like a thief in the night.
All these years, even in the past, we never learned that lesson. Always aim for the head.
Yeah, actually, no. Every movie ends, funny enough, with Sydney killing the person via some type of head trauma. The first 3 movies, she shoots them in the head. The last one, she electrocutes someone in the head.
Clearly, she should start with the head.
Well, no, actually, she didn't kill the third one in the cat. Dewey shot the third person in the head. It's a good It's a good series, though. You should definitely check it out if you haven't.
I see. Wow.
And everyone in the universe loves horror movies and likes to quote stuff like like you just throw out "The Hills Have Eyes" or like "Drag Me to Hell" or some shit like that. They always just throw out movie references, so it's cool. And like every young heartthrob at that time period is in those movies, from Johnny Depp to Kristen Bell to like Sookie Stackhouse from I don't know what she's real name is because she's forever gonna be Sookie Stackhouse to me from True Blood. Paquin? Yeah, Sookie Stackhouse. She's not even Rogue. She's Sookie Stackhouse. Exactly. She's not even Rogue. She's Sookie Stackhouse. That's how she is. But yeah, like if you were a heartthrob at the time, you were in the fucking Serena Vanderwoodsen's mom from Gossip Girl is in there.
I see.
Yeah,
I kind of forgot there were a lot of people in this.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of people in this.
Oh, Rose McGowan was in this.
She was in the first one.
Sarah Michelle Gellar
was in the second one. Third
Jerry
one, second one. That was the thing in the third one.
Jada Pinkett and Omar Epps.
Jada Pinkett and Omar Epps were one of the blackest couples I've ever seen in a horror movie. I'm pretty sure that they let them ad-lib in the beginning in that movie because the conversation was too regular. Patrick Dempsey was in there, and I was just like, "Oh, it's Detective McDreamy," because he was the police officer he was a detective in the third one, and he was also. It seemed like he was trying to fuck Sydney while he was also investigating her, so that was kind of suspicious. But also, it's Sydney, so I guess.
Jenny McCarthy, Patrick Warburton, Rory Culkin.
Yeah.
Emma Roberts.
She was in the fourth one. She was Sydney's niece.
Panettiere. Alison Brie.
Yes. I loved all of them. Like that was now you're just naming Scream 4. It was a star-studded cast. If you want to see people that you haven't seen in a while and you want to hear like funny movie references and like a movie that understands how horror movies work and like how the universe is almost run by it, Scream. Check it out. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Almost makes me want them to make another Scream movie.
On for the Halloween holiday. It's only it's about 20 years old now, so 23 years old since the first one released. So if you remember when it came out in theaters, you old, like me.
I did. I remember it.
Well, you old now too.
I old now too.
Exactly. All right. So, moving on from movies, unless there's something else we need to talk about other than the fact that Gemini Man did terrible, Joker continues to make a lot of money and be very divisive. And are there any other movies right now that are a thing? I don't know.
I saw this trailer for a horror movie called Antler, and woo hoo hoo,
Oh, wait, I heard there was something crazy in this trailer. I didn't get to see it yet.
yo, it is creepy. You know what it kind of
Okay.
reminds me of? It kind of reminds me
Mm-hmm.
of Let the Right One In, where
Oh.
looks like a kid is feeding a monster and it befriending
Mm-hmm.
because the kid's weird. Um, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Go check out that trailer, you
Okay.
guys.
Check out the Antler trailer. Okay. Um, so yeah, moving to TV, we just have one show to review and talk about, and that is the release of HBO's Watchmen, based
Watchmen.
on the Watchmen comic book, based on the Watchmen movie, taking place in the same universe as the movie, now as a new HBO series. And I just want to say, really quickly, off the top of my head, because we almost talked about this first, because we both just finished watching it, I was not prepared for the level of violence against black people at the start of this show.
Yup.
I knew it was a show, but it felt a bit intense.
Yup.
I was, and I mean, I know I look especially light skinned now without my facial hair and the brightness of the monitor bouncing off of me. I was slightly unnerved by all of this. I was like, wait, is this like the bombing of Black Wall Street? What the fuck is going on? Like, what are we watching
Yes,
here?
it.
And then
We were watching the
was
live
it?
action. Yeah, that was what it was. That was because it's Tulsa to 1921. For those of you who don't know, look up.
Because I thought it was like some alternate, like history thing. Like I
No,
thought it was
that's
maybe something slightly different.
no, that's actually how it went down. Again,
Interesting.
for those who don't know, look up Tulsa 1921. That's during Memorial Day week, the 3 day Memorial Day weekend. It was called pretty much the Black Wall Street massacre, or the Witch Street Green Witch massacre, riot, whatever they call it. Basically, there was an altercation between some people, and it swelled. Well, basically, I'm not gonna actually went into it. But the end result is a whole black community was fucking wiped out by white rioters and lynch mobs and stuff. And like they were not only were people shooting everyone up and burning every one of their stores down, because this was an all black community, like well, not all black, but majority of black community. So it was black businesses. They owned up their own stores, grocery stores, doctor offices, two movie theaters, nightclubs, all that stuff. It was one of the like it was very like ahead of its time. It was called Black Wall Street because everyone up there was was because people living there were very wealthy, and it was it was very surprising for like a black community. So with all the like Jim Crow laws going around for that to actually happen, and again there was just literally a whole massacre where like hundreds and thousands of people were killed and like driven out of their homes, and like nobody really fucking talks about it. It like until very recently, like in the last couple decades, nobody really wanted to talk about it. They just kind of just let it go in the room. This has happened in Oklahoma, and like it was really, and like it wasn't just people shooting shit up. It wasn't people just dragging people and lynching people. It was people in planes dropping bombs, and planes weren't that common back then. People actually got a plane just to fly over, just to drop bombs on this shit. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous, and it was only like the first 7 to 8 minutes of Watchmen, but yo, that was again intense. I had to take a moment
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was unexpected. Unexpected to say the least. So um yeah, that's why I wasn't certain it was exactly that, because I couldn't quite figure out how it tied into Watchmen. Um Other than I guess the fact that a character that escapes during it is now a character who's going to be in the story. So I guess their motivations and origin will now tie in to that event, and you'll see more about them. Um, so yeah, um, so far, very intense. We basically see what the Watchmen Society is like years after um, the event in 1985, where a giant squid, in quotations, attacks the world, and the world has to kind of come together after this disaster. to combat an enemy caused by Dr. Manhattan and Ozymandias.
Yeah.
But yeah, the world is weird. Basically, cops run around wearing masks so they don't get attacked in their homes or on the street by criminals. Criminals have taken to reading Rorschach's manifesto and now use it as their, I guess, Bible to justify their own actions. Um, Watching this, I'm not certain who the good guys are.
Yeah, I
Like the
definitely didn't
cops
know,
feel like they're the good guys, sort of,
but
because
that doesn't
basically they're
seem
going
right.
after people who are, technically they're going after people who are white supremacists,
Yeah,
which we follow Regina King's character as she goes after them and finds them, and her boss, who seems like a decent guy who cares about when his officers are shot and killed, no matter what ethnicity or color, uh, gets strung up by these people, only to be
yep.
found by her later. Um, so it seems like the cops are the good guys, at least at this point in time and moment.
It.
But I don't know.
I feel as though this is one of those things where you're not gonna know who the good guys are until like the last ish, like the
Yeah,
last two episodes. Like I feel as though
yeah.
there's gonna be some kind of weird thing on it. But like for right now, it's definitely the police are like the heroes in this. They're like
Mm-hmm.
cops are like sanctioned heroes, like they did back in the day of back in the olden days of the Watchmen, where like heroes just going
Mm-hmm.
around doing stuff.
Yeah.
I like the tech in this because like it's because we went a different route. If you notice, the car,
Yeah,
all
all
the
the cars
cars,
are old.
no, they're old, but they're not running on gas. They're running on power. They're running on like electric power.
Oh, I didn't realize that
If
actually.
you look at like the if you look at the dashboards and like how everyone's using stuff and the weird, it seems that everything's running on like battery power, not like a gas
Mm-hmm.
power. Because he turns on the thing with a press of a button. There's no key. You don't. I don't hear like I'm
This
listening
is
to the
true.
engine. There's no combustion engine.
And even their
It's
guns are a little weird.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
the
I
tech on
mean
here is
they
pretty
have.
cool.
Yeah, they definitely have a weird thing apparently that currently occurred. Like time didn't quite progress correctly from the 80s to whenever this exactly is now because like they're still using pagers, assuming that this is not like a couple years later and it's maybe a few years later. Like they're still using pagers, they still have like oldish looking cars, but again with tech that like is clearly not in modern cars.
Right.
um yeah, it's just kind of weird. And like even like their interrogation room is like nothing but monitors set up showing images that they're using to try to like break people down. And no, the TV series is set in a world where the original story took place and begins in 2019. So technically it's 2019
Yeah. No.
that the show takes place in.
They
So like
announced that.
everything is really behind. Like they're not using cell phones, they're using normal phones still, but everybody's got pagers still and like other things. So yeah, that's right. They did announce, but it is weird. It's I don't know. It's definitely got a good budget. It definitely looks well made. I was definitely kind of riveted and like, okay, I think I'm going to enjoy this a lot more than Watchmen because I did like the movie. I didn't love the movie. It was just like Watchmen was a good book to read, but watching it kind of be remade exactly as a movie, like it almost feels like too heavy and too like there are parts of Watchmen that are kind of dry a little bit. Like you can read them in a minute or two, but to see them on a screen, it's just like, okay, this is it's going on a little long, guys. I kind of just want to get to it. Like where's the guy who's naked and has his blue dong out? Like I want to see that guy again, just so we get some thinking. What he had a blue dong. It was
Blue
out.
Dong.
Yeah. If you were a guy who could control time and space and you had a blue dong that was always out, would you make it bigger or would you just be like, doesn't really matter. I got a blue dong. Everybody knows it. You're looking at me as though I've said something wrong. Is that your
So
screen flash?
Watchmen, I would give it the first episode a 7.5 out of 10.
I see. Okay. I think I would give it an 8.5 because there's been very little that has shocked me in such a way as the first couple minutes of this show. I was watching it on my phone and I was just like, everyone shut up. What am I watching? What is this? And so I give it that because it proved to me that this is not the Watchmen comic, and it might actually be something that I'll definitely want to see more of, and also that Alan Moore wrote this, right?
No. Someone else.
Watchmen again.
Alan Moore wrote Watchmen, but he didn't watch this.
Oh no, he didn't write this. I was just gonna say, if it was Alan Moore who wrote the Watchmen book, this is definitely something he'll never want to touch. But because he doesn't want to touch anything that was based on his work ever. But oh god, don't type in Watchmen to Google, and then just type in Watchmen. Don't type that in by itself. Is that a? I don't know what I'm looking at. Okay, I think it's a heart. It looks like a penis. I'm sorry.
You're just going weird tangents. You know that?
No, I was just trying to find out who wrote it. It is Alan Moore. It is Alan Moore. So Alan Moore is never going to watch this. But it is good.
Isn't he dead?
No, he's not dead. He's just angry.
Oh.
He's just very British, angry, and hates everything. He's 65. He lives in Northampton, North Hampshire, England.
Okay.
Yes. He just hates everything that he's ever made that has been turned into something else and will never touch it. I think he also doesn't accept money from it either.
Yeah, it sounds about how comics work.
Yeah. I mean, he's a crazy guy. He's a crazy guy. But yes, Watchmen. Go watch Watchmen. It's on HBO. It's fun. I should really bother my friend who works at HBO and does social media and see if she can get us into like some kind of Watchmen watch party or something. If they do something, maybe she can get a swag.
Maybe.
I should ask her.
We
can get swag and give it away.
One thing, Regina King's acting.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Fantastic.
She is fantastic. I don't know anyone besides her and Don Johnson in this show, but I thought both of them did well. And Regina King, clearly she just beats people in this episode.
Yeah,
like she just goes into places and beats people. And it's just like, yes, she did. She did that.
Badass.
That was an ass whooping that you received from her. So, definitely solid. So moving on, what else do we got? We have no news for TV, but we do have comic books. So
yes.
Now these books listed, are these the books you're going to review over time, or are these books we're just going to talk about real fast?
Books I'm going to review over time.
Oh.
So, let's get this.
It's called The MoneyShot.
Oh, no. There's 4 comics. I'm just trying to make sure I get get every comic in the right order. It's that time again. It's me reviewing comics.
We need proper music for this.
I can't read. So.
Oh gosh, that was bad.
I like this format, so I'm going to do it again and probably keep doing this forever. It's called 4 Comics, 4 Minutes. I'm going to review 4 comics that I read over the past 2 weeks and do it in 4 minutes and hopefully get through it and shit. So put some time on the clock.
I'm going to put some time on the clock and we can start reviewing comics right now.
Okay, so the first one is Batman: The Curse of the White Knight, issue number 4. Where we last left off, Commissioner Gordon just died. Azrael killed the fuck out of him. Like, he stabbed him with a fire sword and then threw him off a roof. So he's dead. Barbara's not taking that well. She's blaming everyone for being incompetent. Everyone for being incompetent. Yes. And so she goes and takes justice into her own hand with the help of Harvey Bullock. And Bruce also finds out that he had Alfred had fucking Joker's journal all this time because he got it from some ghost. That's a whole thing. And he had a sword, and it was neat. Read it.
Yes.
But it ends.
Alfred pimps a sword.
He pimps sword. Look at that. Look at that. Mm-hmm. Dope. Yeah. Anyway, it ends with Barbara getting her back broken by fucking Azrael after she had a clear shot at Azrael. And what does fucking Batman do? What does he do? He pulls the gun out of her hand. He's like, no, this isn't the way. And what happens? Azrael takes her hostage, and Batman has a gun, and Batman's all like, I gotta take the shot. And Dick is all like, take the shot, take the shot. And Batman's all like, what? And Batgirl gets her back broken. So, yeah. And he gets away. Azrael gets away.
Now she can be Oracle.
Now she could be Oracle, because that's all you wanted to do, right? Break your spine?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go read it. Next one.
Every universe paralyzed.
That's so unfair. Anyway, issue number 1, volume 5, volume 1 of X-Men. This is the 5th time they've rebooted the X-Men, so this is volume 5. But this is X-Men issue number 1. We get to see Cyclops and his him doing a mission with Storm and just being a total badass, but also sounding very imperialist. It's weird. And then they get to pretty much a small house get together with the Scott Summers family and the Starjammer family and Wolverine.
On the moon.
On the moon, yes, because everywhere you plant one of those flowers of Krakoa seeds, the flowers of Krakoa, you can make a base. And Cyclops was just like, fuck it, I want a house on the moon. And you know what? I don't blame him, because I would want one too. So he's on the house, and the part that I want to draw attention to, because that is the part that everyone who is a nerd like us...
1.5 minutes to go.
1.5 minutes to go is this part where it shows all the house arrangements, and if you look very carefully, it shows Cyclops, Wolverine, and Jean Grey in the middle, and their rooms are attached. You know what that means. Bow, chicka, wow, wow. Polyamorous relationships in the Marvel Universe. Read it! Yes. X-Men. Good. Okay? Marauders. Okay, so for some reason, Kitty can't go through portals. I don't know why Kitty can't go through portals. She just can't
doesn't like her.
Maybe? Or maybe she's not a mutant and they'll do that bullshit.
1 minute.
Yeah, anyway. She can't go through portals, so she steals a ship, and then Emma Frost is all like, hey, why don't you just be our trading ship for all our ship stuff, and you just go on shipping pirate adventures. And she's all like, cool. And they revived Pyro, the original Pyro with the weird accent, and he was like their first test subject, and now he's on the team. And so it's just them going like, pirate adventures and saving shit. And like, she wants to be called Kate now.
He's got a weird accent. He was Australian, but okay.
She wants to be called Kate now. Remember, she wants to be called Kate now.
She's grown up.
She's all grown up.
30 seconds.
Okay. I'm just going to give you the premise of this one. This is MoneyShot, issue number 1. So basically, in the future, aliens come and they're just like, you know what? Humans aren't worth the trouble of actually bringing you into the fold because you guys are so dumb and backwards. And then a couple more years pass, and these scientists want to do research, but they don't have money because no one wants to pay attention to it. So you know what they do? They go to other planets, fuck other aliens, and record it for porn.
0.
If you want to see scientists go to other planets to fuck other aliens so they can raise money so they can do science, read this. And the funniest thing about this, one of the scientists demands that his porn name be Supermassive Black Hole. Read it. And that was 4 comics in 4 minutes.
Ish.
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 Just put that at there, like 4 comics in 4 minutes, and then put parentheses at the end of 4 minutes. Ish.
Okay. Well, that was called MoneyShot.
MoneyShot.
What company made this?
Volt. I don't know. There's like so many like.
Did you wander into the adults only comic book section?
No, funny enough. So I go to Midtown Comics, right? Shout out to Times Square Midtown Comics, because I've been going there since I was in high school. And I'm like, all right, so like I have credit, because when you do the thing when you were like a loser like me, you buy so much comics, they start to give you credit for it. So I had free credit, and I was just like, I want to review the issue number 1 of something. And I was like, nothing Marvel, nothing DC. And they were like, you could do MoneyShot, and they were like, what? And I'm like really tired. I'm like, what's MoneyShot? It's like, okay, these scientists go up to space to save money, to get money. They have sex with aliens. I was like, sold. Put it in the bag. They both just laugh, and she go gets the comics and she sells it to me. And I was just like, I gotta read it.
I see. I'm just looking it up right now. Sarah Beatty zooms into comics for sex-positive sci-fi MoneyShot. So it looks like it's a lady who is the writer. I see an interview with her on Newsarama. Oh my, it's a lady. You
say things that sound really creepy. That would sound really creepier 40 years older.
Look, all I'm saying is I went to Newsarama, I looked at the interview, and the first picture is a picture of her, the writer. And so my inner ladies man, Leon Phelps, came out, and I said, "Hey, it's a lady," and that's how it came about. It's also done by Tim Seeley, and let's see, it looks like it was published by Vault Comics. MoneyShot 1, 2, and 3.
I feel like I said
Yes, the
all of the
covers
things
are.
you just said, except with the
Yes.
Tim Seeley part and Sarah part.
Okay, I gotta find this. It was 2 days ago, a day ago. So I guess this book just came out. Yeah, September 25th.
Yeah, I know.
Sweet.
Just a shout out to all the readers out there. I will try to make it so that everyone, that at least one of the comics in my 4 minutes, 4 comics reviews. Did I just fart? Yes, I did. 4 comics, 4 minutes reviews.
What?
Well, one of them will be issue number 1. So, you know,
Okay.
review a new comic. You know, get you interested in a new comic.
I think that's a good plan. I think it's a good plan.
Also,
this comic book then.
This is so gonna be turned into a TV show if it does well. It can't not.
Yeah.
That's sci-fi right there. That's 2 seasons on sci-fi right there. 2 seasons. No, notice I say 2 seasons. They're not gonna renew it for a third.
On sci-fi.
That's all you give them sci-fi. Sci-fi just yeets them shit.
I need to be a better writer. I want to get a TV show made for 2 seasons. I don't know.
We can totes make a TV show made for 2 seasons.
Well,
totes.
But again, even if we got a TV show, they sent that picture that I sent from Newsarama, or the link to Newsarama, is definitely different when you send it as a text as opposed to looking at Newsarama, because it's more of a full picture now in the text message. So, okay.
Yeah, I see her face.
Yeah, you see her face. Sure.
Okay. No, I didn't. No, all I see is her face. I don't have a body.
Really?
So, no.
Not on your phone? Because I have an iPhone. My iPhone is like, it populated the image of the link, so now it's more of a full body image.
I don't have a full body image, but she's definitely doing very meow picture.
She's a lady.
And I can see, and it sounds very pervy, and I don't mean to sound like pervy, but they're doing that thing where they're like, you know, when you take a cover of a book, and they show you the picture of the author, and they do it to make it so that they also look very attractive.
Mm.
They're doing that for the comic, which I guess, I'm not shitting on her. This is a picture. This is a picture to the.
See,
that's the picture I see.
Again, there's more to that picture.
See, I kind of figured.
The link I sent. Yeah. So regardless, I'm interested in this book now. Before the picture, I'm interested in this book now. After the picture, and I'm interested in this book. So I will seek it out and find MoneyShot so that I can read it. And I'll have to follow her on Twitter. And we'll have to send her the fact that you like this book.
MoneyShot is good. Yeah, it's funny. It's I can see this kind of, not I can see it happening, but I can see why this is kind of relevant now, because everyone, the government that we currently have going for us right now is very anti-science and very fake news. So I can see why scientists would get frustrated enough that they would fuck aliens just so they can get money for funding for their projects.
They're anti-science. They're anti-women's bodies. They're anti a lot of things. So
yeah,
maybe all this fits into this book,
and
you get to have some mature, raunchy fun at the same time while reading it.
Also, one of the scientists is called Supermassive Black Hole.
I want to know why, but I don't want you to tell me. I want to be surprised. So I'll just leave it there. But going back to the fact that you only get 2 seasons on sci-fi, even if you get picked up, is that because comic books aren't art?
Yes. So, well, no, I'm not agreeing that that's the truth.
Because it seems to be the case nowadays that comic books are not art. They are just fluff, or not really cinema, not really films. They are amusement park rides, or they are just trash driving down the masses, depending on what old person you talk to who used to make movies a long time ago.
Ooh, tell them why you mad, Andrew. Tell them why you mad.
I'm just saying, man, is the Mona Lisa not a painting? I mean, you can look at the Mona Lisa, and it's just a picture of a woman kind of, sort of smiling. And a lot of people give that a 10 out of a 10, you figure. So now you have Starry Night. You have the Waves of Japan. I can't remember the name of that one. You have all sorts of these pictures out there that are all very different, all very different. You've got Picasso's and Mozart and all these things that would be considered art. So now suddenly, superhero movies don't count as art because they make $1 billion and everyone watches them, and they inspire the masses to be greater and to know that great power handles great responsibility. I don't know. Your thoughts? That's just me waxing philosophical, saying lots of bullshit, but I don't know.
Okay, so what's the last guy's name? The guy who wrote The Godfather? I'm disrespecting the crap out of him right now. I'm sorry.
There you go. There you go. He's old. It's Coppola.
Coppola. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Coppola recently just came out with a comment saying that Marvel movies are not just because they're not Marvel or not movies, they're not cinema, and he went so far as to say that they're despicable and everyone should be bad. They shouldn't watch them, and they're not great, and that they don't teach you or give you anything. And I think that's BS. I think that's total BS because he made The Godfather, and everyone's supposed to, say it's such a big deal. And he made Apocalypse Now or something like that.
He did.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh, those are great movies and all that stuff." And I get it. They are. People will hold them in high regard. They'll win all the awards, and people always say, in your top 20 of the best movies of all time, one or two of his movies are going to be on that list. Great. I understand that. Don't shit on the other movies. Don't shit on the other movies. You don't want anyone shit on The Godfather. You don't want anyone shitting on Apocalypse Now. And I'm not saying that anyone would, because they're such great shit. But don't shit on the other movies just because it's not your cup of tea. It doesn't mean anything. That's like you saying, oh, Barney, that's not good television. That doesn't make you feel things like The Wire did. It doesn't make you understand the crime lords and the way the system is precariously balanced between good and evil and what police really do and the way to defend us against the terrors that are the streets, and all the streets they're really the terrorists. No, Barney doesn't do all of that. It just, just a purple dinosaur teaching our kids about love.
He's actually not the last one who did this because while Francis Ford Coppola slammed the movies as despicable, British director Ken Loach said they're made as commodities like hamburgers. It's not about communicating. It's not about sharing our imagination. It's about making a commodity that will make a profit for a big corporation. They're a cynical exercise. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's about making money. But again, there's no reason that this cannot coexist with that. Again, as far as I knew, filmmaking is a pretty open business. It costs money, but anyone with a camera can make a film.
Yeah, no, not to them. Not to them.
Yeah,
they don't. So. No, they don't make films. They make art. Okay, you have to be a certain level to release the stuff that people will see. Marvel movies don't convey anything. Great power and comes great responsibility. No. That doesn't convey anything. The stuff that we learned in Black Panther, seeing that entire, I went at a very black theater to go see that movie, and everybody was hyped as hell to see representation on such a deep level for that movie. But that didn't convey anything. No. Captain Marvel didn't inspire a whole generation, and the Wonder Woman didn't inspire a whole generation of ladies to actually do fucking things and go do filmography, because I know as much as hell they didn't get any serious love in regards to all the stuff they do in there. No. That doesn't convey anything. What else? I can go on for days. Shit, Captain America was an inspiring story. He was just a kid from Brooklyn. He just cared more and was willing to do whatever and willing to put his body on the line for his country. Thor learned about being worthy and being a person and not a fucking rage dude bro monster.
Exactly.
I don't understand. It kind of comes off as jelly, really. Because these movies constantly make more and more money, and they come out regularly, and they're part of this big universe, and they're just comic books aren't real books, so those movies aren't real movies. And it's just do you sign off on the media for stuff? Do you like control all of it? And I know people are just like, why are you getting in your feelings for opinions? This is just there's a person opinion. If you don't care about their opinions, don't listen. Saying
Yeah.
shit like this, they have fans. They have people who listen to hang to the every word. And those people are going to take that and just hang on to it and say superhero movies aren't real movies. And then they're going to pass that information on to maybe their little children. And those kids are going to be like, super comic books aren't real movies. And there's going to be a kid who wanted to make a comic book but thought can't because his dad heard Coppola say, you know what? Superhero movies aren't movies. When that kid could have been out the next Spider-Man or Batman
It's true.
or whatever else that people make.
Iron
Apparently,
Man.
they only make Spider-Man and Batman. I mean, that's really all
Yeah.
the movies they make. How many movies have been remade of the superhero characters? If you think about DC and Marvel, think about that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The two ones are Batman and Spider-Man. Those are the two.
Yeah.
They keep remaking those movies. You can always make a
do.
Batman or a Superman movie.
I mean, we just casted a Riddler this week.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
The movie's coming along.
Mm-hmm. As well as a Black Commissioner Gordon and a Black Catwoman. So
We haven't had Black Catwoman in a while. We haven't had a Black Catwoman in a while. Wow, words are hard today.
I forgot we had two of them.
Yeah, Eartha Kitt. We don't talk about Halle Berry. That was a.
We had another one.
We don't talk about Halle Berry. That wasn't Halle's fault.
She was
That was
perfect.
No, don't use Eartha Kitt. Don't you do that. Don't use Eartha Kitt's fucking. No.
Sure, Eartha.
You respect Eartha. You respect her.
Look, I'm not gonna get yelled at again about a black female actress. I already got yelled at about Whitney Houston this week.
What did you say about Whitney?
Look, there was a Rolling Stones list. They were ranking like the top most influential musicians of all time, like the top 100. Whitney was like somewhere around 30, and somebody was like, "She's way too low." And I was like, "Look, I get that, but Whitney."
Don't. You know what? Stop. Stop.
I'm
Stop.
just saying,
No.
Whitney was
Don't
a
even finish the
case of
sentence.
wasted potential.
Don't
Whitney
finish the
Houston
sentence.
should still be with us, doing amazing things, growing her career, but crack slowed her down. Her last few years were disappointing. She peaked in the 90s, unfortunately, because of that. And now the kids, the youngins, don't know much about her. You don't hear her music everywhere. Even Michael Jackson was only slightly higher than her on the list, and I'm pretty sure it's probably because whoever wrote the list was feeling very ambivalent about putting Michael Jackson on the list in the first place after all the controversy of the last year. So they're probably like, well, I can't put him in the top 10, but maybe if I put him in the top 20, people will not react so strongly to Michael Jackson being added to the list because of the molesty and the touchy and the thingy that he did be. And that's what they were thinking. I'm pretty sure. You should really laugh more so that I'm not laughing alone.
It's coming off as nervous laughter, and I kind of want you to feel it. So yeah, stop doing shit like this.
This is not nervous laughter. This is real laughter.
All right, then fuck you then. All right. Honestly, I also agree Whitney should probably be a little higher on the list, and so should MJ. So if MJ and Whitney are in the low 30s, then what the fuck is in the top 10?
The number one was Aretha Franklin. I know.
Number one was Aretha Franklin?
Yes.
That makes it tricky.
Let me see if I
Because
can find
Aretha,
this. Rolling Stone.
I don't want to say that Aretha doesn't deserve that because Aretha does deserve that.
I mean, Aretha Franklin. She kept going for a long time. I know. I saw Twitter is not happy with the list. Obviously. Let's see. Aretha Franklin was number 1. Ray Charles was number 2. Elvis Presley was number 3. Sam Cooke 4. John Lennon 5. Marvin Gaye 6. 7. Bob Dylan. 8. Otis Redding. 9. Stevie Wonder. 10. James Brown. That's the top 10.
Am I shitty for wanting to put Marvin Gaye over Stevie Ray Charles?
Look, it's the top 10. I mean, this is once you get to that, it's pretty close. Like, I don't think it's it's not that bad. But like, if you look here, like Freddie Mercury's 18, Prince is
That's
30.
a little low too. All right, you know what? We're just starting to turn into a
Michael
music
Jackson's
podcast.
25.
We should probably stop talking about this. Just starting to turn into a movie podcast.
Number 100.
I mean, a music
is
podcast.
Mary J. Blige.
Wait, number 100 is Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige, yeah. So there you go. Mary made the list. It's not too bad. Luther Vandross was number 54. That feels fair to me, actually. because I don't think anybody knows Luther Vandross anymore, unfortunately. People know Dance with My Father, and that's about it. Although I feel Mariah Carey's probably burnt that she's number 79, because that's kind of funny in a way.
Wow! Wait, Mariah Carey?
Look, let's be for real. Mariah did not. She's not aging like Aretha Franklin did. Aretha Franklin was singing those notes up to the end. Mariah's going to come out in about 2 months and be rolled out onto the stage for Christmas, and she's going to have to stop halfway through All I Want for Christmas Is You, because she knows she can't hit those notes again. She tried 3 years ago, and she embarrassed the hell out of herself. And then she had to come out twice the next year to try to reclaim her glory.
You know what? I did not know you knew this much about Mariah Carey. I thought I was gonna shame you for a second, but you're coming off as like a shady Kathy right now.
I'm just saying. It was pretty hilarious.
So we are just a little bit over an hour. I think we should end it here.
I think we're gonna end it now
to stop all the fucking Mariah Carey slander. So
all she wants for Christmas is her old voice back.
Get out.
Get out. You can't see Sam's. If you're not watching the video version, you can't see Sam's face. He was really shocked at what that came out of my mouth.
Get out.
It's fantastic.
Podcast over. Podcast over.
This is the reviews. Obviously, we've shortened it. We're now a shorter podcast. We're an hour long. We do reviews. Hope you enjoy. We have a new podcast that just started last week. It's going to be every other week now between the reviews. We're not going to do it every week, but every other week. On the off week, where we're not going, Sam has a new podcast with our former colleague in this one, Ed Gerard. They started that one. It is now Sam and Ed's Totally Original Geek News Podcast.
See, that's in time fast.
I can't. I'm just going to say Tognup, because it's tognup.com, TOGNP.com. You can also get there, or just go to rapturepress.com. As soon as Ed gives me the picture, it'll be there, featured prominently. But regardless, they talk geek everything, from reviews to TV shows to news. We've shifted the news from that to there, and we're just going to talk reviews. So nonetheless, go listen to that podcast, like and subscribe, leave 5 stars, leave all the stars, leave comments, review, do the same here. Then head on over to Mike and Mike Go to the Movies. Then head on over to The Complete Works. Don't get confused with the old Complete Works. That's from Film Bookcast. We don't like them. Listen to the new Complete Works. That's from us. We like this one. It's almost over. They've nearly watched every Nicolas Cage film that he's made.
You don't have to bring it up every time.
The shitty films he'll make in the future.
You don't have to bring it up every time.
We have to bring it up. It's an accomplishment. They're like at 80. And again, Nicolas Cage is Francis Ford Coppola's nephew. I wonder if he's ashamed of Nicolas Cage's movies since they're not art. But regardless, that's a topic for another time. Maybe we can ask him. We'll get him. I don't know.
One of my goals for the Mike and Mike...
It's whatever.
One of my goals for the Mike and Mike show is to try to get them an interview with Nicolas Cage. I feel as though it would be a nice way to round it out.
I feel like that's the way to end it. Maybe we can reach out and see if he's got an agent. He seems like the type who'd game for anything. If we could just find a way to contact him.
I don't know if because there's little comments where they were like, he goes full Cage. I don't know how he would react to being called full Cage. He might be a good sport about it.
Full Cage.
Huh?
I think he's got to know he goes full Cage at a certain point.
Yeah, full Cage.
Yeah, I think so. Regardless, hope you guys enjoyed. I am Andrew McDonald.
And I'm Sam Harper.
And this was the Review Zoo, and we are out. He's doing a peace symbol. Later.